Good evening, my friend, and welcome back. My name is Marcus. Every night, I take a walk through a different city in a different time, and tonight, you're coming with me. So settle in, make yourself comfortable, and let the day slip away. Tonight, we find ourselves in Victorian London, in the age of gaslight and fog, where a soft rain is falling on the cobblestones and a quiet mist drifts up from the River Thames. There's nothing to do now and nowhere to be. Just walk with me. You are standing in a narrow side street, tucked away from the wider roads of the sleeping city. The hour is long past midnight. The rain falls softly, steadily, with no haste at all. It taps on slate roofs. It whispers along brick walls. It gathers in the seams between the cobbles, making each little stone shine beneath the pale gold of a gas lamp. The street is quiet enough that you can hear the rainwater running in the gutters. It slips along the edges of the pavement, curls around the iron feet of lampposts, and disappears through dark grates with a soft, hollow murmur. The air smells of wet stone, soot, and old brick, with a faint sweetness from damp wood and coal smoke drifting down from chimney pots above. Beside you, shuttered shop fronts sleep beneath their painted signs. Their windows are covered for the night, their doorsteps washed clean by rain. A tailor, a stationer, a small grocer, all closed and still, with brass handles dimly catching the light. Behind the shutters, shelves and counters rest in darkness. Bolts of cloth, stacks of paper, jars of tea, and folded brown parcels wait quietly for morning. You begin to walk. Your pace is slow. There is no reason to hurry. Each step is soft against the wet cobbles, and the street seems to receive you kindly, as though it has been waiting in the rain for someone gentle to pass through. The houses rise close on either side, tall and narrow, built of dark red brick, turned almost purple by the rain. Their windows are curtained. Here and there, a faint glow rests behind a blind, low and warm, like the last ember of a household lamp. Wrought iron railings line the areas below street level, their black curbs beaded with rain. Each droplet holds a little piece of lamplight trembling before it falls. Ahead, a tall gas lamp stands in the mist. Its glass is pearled with moisture. Inside, the flame burns steady and small, hissing softly as the gas feeds it. The sound is delicate, almost like breath. Around it, the fog gathers in a golden halo, blurring the edges of the street and softening the corners of every doorway. You pause beneath the lamp and look up. The rain comes down through the light in fine silver threads. It gathers on the brim of your hat, on the shoulders of your coat, on the old stones beneath your feet. Above the lamp, chimney pots crowd the rooftops in uneven rows, and from some of them, thin ribbons of coal smoke rise into the mist. The smoke does not climb far. It curls, drifts, and becomes part of the fog. At the far end of the street, a small glow moves slowly through the haze. It is the lantern of a watchman, making its quiet round. The light sways once, then steadies, then fades behind a corner. No voice follows it. No footstep disturbs the calm. Only the rain remains, gentle and patient. A little farther along, another figure passes in the distance, almost part of the night itself. A lamplighter is making his last quiet rounds. His long pole rests against his shoulder. In earlier hours, he has walked from lamp to lamp, touching flame to wick and bringing the evening glow into the streets. Now he moves slowly, checking the light, making sure the city is held in its soft amber hush until dawn begins to pale the sky. You walk on, leaving the first lamp behind you. Its glow stretches over the cobbles, then thins, then becomes mist. The side street narrows, then bends. Rain slides from iron balconies. It drips from window ledges. It falls from the carved stone faces above old doorways, drop by drop, as if the houses themselves are dreaming. There is comfort in how still it all is. London, so wide and restless by day, has folded itself inward. Its markets sleep. Its wheels are silent. Its clerks and porters, shopkeepers and seamstresses, messengers and cabmen, all have vanished behind doors and curtains. The city has become a place of roofs, lamps, rain, and breathing darkness. You turn at the corner and come to a quiet little square. It opens before you gently, not grandly, but with the modest grace of a hidden garden known mostly to those who live nearby. Iron railings enclose the central green. Their pointed tips are softened by mist and shining with rain. Beyond them, plane trees stand in patient rows, their pale trunks mottled and wet, their high branches dripping steadily into the darkness below. The fog rests thicker here. It gathers beneath the branches and folds itself around the railings, so that the far side of the square seems farther away than it is. The houses around it are tall and dignified, with dark windows and stone steps leading up to polished doors. Brass knockers sleep on painted wood. Boot scrapers wait beside the steps, washed by rain. Basement windows show only a dimness below the pavement. In the center of the garden, a fountain stands silent. No water leaks from it now. Rainwater fills its shallow basin and makes little circles where the drops fall. The stone figures at its base are blurred and softened by wetness, more like memories than carvings. Leaves lie flat against the paving around it, dark and shining. You stand by the railings for a while. The iron is cool and slick beneath your hand. Rain gathers on each curved bar and slips downward in bright threads. Inside the square, the plane trees drip and drip, each drop finding another leaf, another branch, another resting place before it falls to earth. It is a slow music, almost too quiet to notice, but once you hear it, it seems to fill the whole garden. Somewhere in the fog, a church clock marks the hour. The sound comes softened by distance, low and rounded, passing over roofs and through the rain. It does not startle the square. It simply belongs to it. The last note fades and the silence returns, deeper than before. You move along the edge of the railings. Your footsteps are faint. The square curves with you, its lamps set at careful intervals, each flame surrounded by its own small cloud of gold. Between the lamps, the mist gathers in blue-gray folds. The trees vanish upward into it. The rooftops vanish too. Only the nearest things are clear. The wet pavement, the railings, the low garden wall, the shining leaves pressed against the ground. A carriage has passed here earlier in the night, leaving narrow wheel tracks in the wet street. Now the tracks hold water, reflecting the lamps in broken ribbons. At one corner, rain falls from a blocked gutter in a steady stream, tapping the stones below with quiet persistence. No one comes to mend it now. Morning will do. Near the entrance to a cobbled mews, you see the dim outline of a milk cart being readied for the early hours. The shafts are propped gently. The churns stand close together, dull metal shining under rain. In the stable beyond, horses doze in their stalls, warm and still, their blankets rising and falling with slow breath. A little straw clings to the threshold. The scent of hay, horse, leather, and damp wood drifts out into the lane, softened by the rain. The city is not awake, not yet, but beneath its sleep, the first small preparations of morning are beginning. In some unseen bakehouse, an oven is being warmed before dawn. The baker works quietly, as bakers have done in old cities for a very long time. Soon, bread will rise in the heat, and the first loaves will be carried to shop fronts and tables. Already, faintly, the smell of wood smoke and warm flour begins to mingle with the wet air. You leave the square by a narrow passage between houses. It is darker here, but not unkind. The walls stand close enough to catch the sound of rain and hold it near you. Water trickles down the bricks in thin, shining paths. A drain pipe murmurs. A small basement grating breathes out the warm, dusty scent of banked coal in old rooms. The lane turns, then turns again. London is full of these winding ways, old habits of the city written in stone. Some lanes remember footpaths. Some remember yards and gardens that have vanished. By day, they might seem cramped, busy, and full of errands. Tonight, they are only passageways through mist and lamplight, carrying you slowly toward the river. You pass beneath a signboard that creaks very softly in the rain. Its painted letters are dim and shining. A pawnbroker's balls hang above one shuttered doorway, dull gold under the gaslight. A printer's shop sleeps beside it, with scraps of paper pasted inside the glass. Notices, handbills, theater sheets, announcements of lectures and rooms to let, all damp at the edges, all quiet now. The cobbles slope downward. You can feel it in your step. The air changes as you walk. It grows cooler, heavier, more open. The smell of the river comes to meet you, a deep scent of rain, tide, wet rope, old timber, and stone. The fog moves differently here too. It seems to breathe up from below, drifting around corners and lifting along the lane, like a pale tide of its own. A small lamp burns above the door of an inn, turned low. Its light rests on the rain-darkened threshold. Beside it, a stack of barrels leans beneath an awning, their iron hoops wet and black. Farther on, a warehouse wall rises blank and broad, its brickwork glistening. High above, a pulley beam juts out into the mist, still and empty, with a rope hanging motionless in the rain. You hear the river before you see it. Not loudly. It is only a soft, deep whisper beneath the rain, the sound of water moving in darkness. Then the lane opens, and the Thames lies before you. The river is wide and shadowed, carrying the night slowly eastward. Fog drifts across its surface in low, pale bands. The lamps along the embankment shine as blurred points of gold, each one trembling in the water below. Rain falls on the river, without a splash you can name, only a fine, endless touching, making the dark surface shiver. Wooden barges rest moored along the bank. Their hulls are black with wetness. Ropes run from iron rings to bollards, thick and soaked, holding them close to the stone. Some are covered with tarpaulins, heavy with rain. Some sit low in the water, patient and quiet, waiting for cargo, tide, and morning. A small boat rocks beside them, barely moving, its oars shipped and its bow turned gently toward the current. You walk along the river wall. The stones are broad and slick, shining under the lamps. Rain gathers in shallow hollows and reflects the sky as a deep gray blur. Below, the water laps against the steps, touching them, withdrawing, returning, as if it is breathing in sleep. Across the river, shapes appear and vanish. A warehouse roof, a line of chimneys, a faint row of lights low to the water. The fog makes everything uncertain, but not strange. It softens the far bank into a dream of buildings, a city remembered more than seen. You pause near a set of worn stone stairs descending to the water. The lower steps disappear into darkness. At the top, an iron ring is fixed into the wall, polished by years of ropes. Rainwater runs down the stair edges and joins the river below. In daylight, these stairs are busy with boatmen and parcels, calls and crossings. Tonight, they belong only to rain, fog, and the slow river. A gull sleeps somewhere out on a mooring post, tucked into itself. The barges make the faintest wooden sounds, a small creak, a gentle knock against a fender, then stillness again. The river carries those sounds away, smoothing them into its own quiet murmur. You continue toward the bridge. Its great stone shape rises ahead, pale in the fog, with lamps set along its span. They glow in a line that seems to float above the river. The arches are hidden at first, then one curve appears, broad and solemn, the underside dark against the moving water. Rain beads on the parapets and slips down the stone faces, making them shine as though freshly cut. At the foot of the bridge, the road widens. A few shop fronts face the river, all shuttered. A small coffee house stands among them, its windows dark for now except for a low, warm glow within. You will come back to it soon. For now, you turn toward the bridge and begin the gentle climb. Your steps slow as the bridge carries you out over the Thames. The city falls back on either side. The sound of rain becomes clearer up here, tapping the stone parapet, pattering on the roadway, falling into the open dark. Far below, the water whispers beneath the arches. You can hear it moving around the piers, smooth and constant, carrying the reflections of lamps, boats, and clouds. The bridge feels old in the way stone feels old, calm and certain beneath your feet. Its parapet is broad and wet. When you rest your hand there, the stone is cool and solid, holding the rain without complaint. Drops gather along the edge and fall into the fog below. Halfway across, you stop and look upstream. The river bends away into a silver-black distance. The fog thickens over the water, and from within it, faint shakes rise. The dome of a great cathedral stands beyond the roofs, softened until it seems made of cloud. It is not sharp tonight. It is only a rounded darkness, touched here and there by the dim glow of the city. Beside the narrow lanes and chimneys, a church spire stands faint as a pencil mark in the mist. The rain continues. It is steady, never hard. It places a veil over everything, and the veil makes the city kind. The lamps do not glare. The stones do not shine too brightly. The river does not hurry. All of London seems to be breathing slowly under the rain. A single hansom cab rests at the curb near the far side of the bridge. Its shafts are still. The driver is gone from sight, perhaps resting somewhere under shelter. The horse stands with its head lowered, asleep beneath a dripping blanket. Rain beads along the cloth and falls from the edge in regular drops. The animal shifts once, gently, then grows still again, warm inside its covering, patient as the night. You pass quietly by. No one stirs. The cab lamps are low, their little flames dim behind wet glass. The wheels cast curved shadows on the shining road. Nearby, a puddle holds the blurred reflection of the horse, the cab, and the lamp above them, all wavering together whenever rain touches the surface. Beyond the bridge, narrow streets climb and scatter. But you do not go far. The walk has brought you where it needed to. The river is behind you and beneath you. The square, the side street, the winding lanes, all rest in the fog now, folding back into the sleeping city. You turn slowly and begin to descend again toward the coffee house near the foot of the bridge. The rain follows you softly. It gathers on the brim of your hat. It trails in thin lines along the sleeves of your coat. It brightens each stone step, each curb, each little hollow in the road. The coffee house waits with its low glow. It is a modest place, narrow-fronted, with a painted sign above the door and small panes of glass in the window. The sign is dark with rain. The window has misted at the edges. Inside, a warmer light breathes against the glass, deep in amber, the kind of light that belongs to shelter. You step in from the rainy street. The change is gentle. Outside, the rain goes on tapping and whispering. Inside, the air is warm and close, smelling of coal, coffee, damp wool, polished wood, and the faint sweetness of bread kept near the fire. The room is small. A few tables stand empty. Chairs are turned neatly in. The counter is dark oak, rubbed smooth by many hands over many years. A low coal fire glows in the grate. It does not blaze. It only breathes red and orange beneath a skin of ash. Now and then, a coal settles with a soft sound, and a little pulse of warmth moves through the room. Above the grate, a kettle sits warm on the hob, its metal dull in the firelight. It gives off no whistle, only the smallest murmur of heat held quietly within. The gas lamp over the counter has been turned down low. Its flame is small and blue at the base, golden at the tip. It hisses almost too softly to hear. The light does not fill the room completely. It leaves the corners dim. It touches the table edges, the cups on a shelf, the brass of a little scale, the curve of a spoon resting in a saucer. Everything is calm. Everything has been set aside until morning. You take a place near the window. The chair is plain, sturdy, and worn smooth. The table is cool beneath your hands at first, then slowly seems to warm. Rain taps on the glass beside you. Beyond it, the street is a soft blur of lamps and mist. The bridge rises in shadow. The river lies hidden beyond the stones, still whispering, still moving, still carrying the night. Your coat begins to dry in the warm room. A faint curl of steam lifts from the sleeves. The sound of the rain is gentler now, held back by window and wall. It becomes a lullaby of small touches. Tap, pause, tap, a quiet pattern over the glass. You can feel the walk settling inside you. The cobbled side street grows distant. The tall gas lamp still hisses in the mist, but softly now, far away. The shuttered shops rest behind you. The brick houses, the iron railings bright with rain, the watchman's lantern fading at the end of the street, all drift together into memory. The little square is quieter still. The fountain gathers rain in its basin. The plane trees drip behind their railings. The church clock has marked the hour and gone silent again. The milk cart waits in the mews. The horses doze in their stalls. The baker warms the ovens, and somewhere in the dark lanes, the first breath of bread and wood smoke moves through the rain. The river is farther away now, and also very near. You can almost smell it through the wet stone outside. Rain and tide, rope and timber, barges sleeping along the bank, small boats resting against the current, steps descending into the dark water, lamps trembling in long golden lines. The bridge holds it all. Stone above water, fog around lamps, the faint dome in the distance, the church spire pale and still, the handsome cab at the curb, the horse beneath its dripping blanket, everything resting, everything quiet, everything safe in the soft keeping of the night. You sit a little deeper in the chair. The fire glows lower. The kettle stays warm. The gas lamp whispers. Outside, Rain continues to fall on London. It falls on roofs and railings. It falls on cobbles and chimneys. It falls on the river, on the barges, on the bridge, on the sleeping square. It falls with no hurry at all. The room grows softer around you. The edges of the tables blur slightly in the low light. The window becomes a dark mirror, holding the faint shape of the room and the faint gold of the lamp. Beyond it, the rain traces slow lines down the glass. One drop joins another, then another. They slide together, pause, and continue downward. You breathe slowly. The city breathes with you. In the grate, the coals settle again. A small red glow opens, then dims. The kettle gives a quiet tick as it cools a little, then rests. The gas lamp burns low and steady, a small star indoors, kept just for this hour. There is nothing to arrange now, nothing to remember, nothing to carry. The day has gone. The night is kind. You have walked through rain and lamplight, through fog and sleeping streets, and now you are here, warm beside the window, listening as London dreams. The rain taps softly, softly on the glass. The river moves in the dark, slow and deep beneath the bridge. The lamps hiss in the fog, low and golden, one by one. The square sleeps behind its railings. The trees drip, the fountain rests. The side street sleeps. The cobbles shine. The shutters hold the quiet. The baker's oven warms in the distance. The horses doze in the mews. The milk cart waits for dawn. And you rest here, in the little coffee house where the fire is low, and the kettle is warm, and the lamp is turned down. Your eyes grow heavy. The rain becomes softer. The room becomes warmer. The chair holds you gently. The night folds around you like a blanket drawn with care. You hear only the rain now, and the faint whisper of the river, and the quiet breath of the fire. London sleeps. You sleep. Sleep well, my friend. I'll see you on our next walk.